Hey gang, welcome back. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's a little cooler here. We got some rain yesterday. Finally, after about a month and a half of no rain, we got a half of an inch. I've got a pretty good video here today. It's canning tomatoes. At least it's the way I remember how to can them. My wife may tell me different when she gets home. And I'm going to play a song in the first part of this video that a fella wrote. Now, this song was sung at our little church singing. And if I'm not mistaken, he's 88-year-old, 89. And this song that he has wrote, and the lady's going to be singing it. He's not, but he wrote the song and he plays the violin. It's about whenever he was real young, 5 or 6 year old. He walked the old country road to this exact church with his grandma. Along the way, they were picking flowers to put on a grave there at the church. And that's what inspired him to write this song. It's a real good song. And he's wrote a lot of songs. Actually, he's one of the top violin players, or fiddle players, what we call it, in Tennessee. He's wrote a song that's going to become the state song here. I think they have done voted it in. I'm not positive. I'll try to find out more about that and let y'all know. And I'm kin to this man. His mama and my grandpa were brother and sisters. So it's real special to me. It's kind of in the family, but they were going there to put flowers on the grave whenever he was real little. And it was from a lady that had passed away from appendicitis. Her appendix had erupted, and her husband had left to go find a doctor. But by the time that he went and found a doctor and got him back to their house, it was too late. And that was the flowers that they were picking. But anyway, I hope y'all enjoy it. It's the first 2 or 3 minutes of the video once I start canning. So I thank y'all for watching.
That leads from the cradle to the grave, and I have traveled it so fast, just as sure as that evening sun goes down, and it's gonna be my last. I've traveled this road in the springtime, I've traveled it in the fall, I've traveled this road with my brothers and my sisters, waiting for our Savior to call.
says put 2 tablespoons per quart of lemon juice and 1 teaspoon of canning salt. Now you want to use canning salt because other salts may discolor. Canning salt don't have the iodine and stuff in it. This is just a half a teaspoon, so I need to put 2 of these. This is kind of optional, the salt is, I think. But I always like to put it, I feel like it helps preserve it. Now what we're going to do is just quarter these tomatoes up as best I can. I dropped that one in there, about half of it. It'll be alright. These hadn't been cooked other than just the hot dip I done to get the skin off of them. I try to let any juice that will come out of them go into the jar. Now I'm doing this alone. I got off early today. The wife ain't here. And this is the best way I remember how to do it. We hope it's right. She may come in and tell me what I done wrong. Now then, that's about all the tomato I'm going to put in there. I'm going to cover it up with this hot boiling water. Y'all just excuse the mess out here. This is a shop kitchen. It's in a woodworking shop. And I just try to clean up the area right here that I'm using. Country boy style. So you know how clean that is. I don't know how I'm going to get this in here without spilling it everywhere. I think we're looking for about a 1/2 inch headspace. That should be it. I'm going to run this spoon around it to debubble it. Now, some of the old timers wouldn't even hot bath this. I've seen them do it. They just put the lids on here and seal them up. And I've done that way before. I'm just a little scared of doing it that way. So we're gonna hot bath them for 15-20 minutes. Now I need to get something and wipe this lid off. I always like to try to wipe the rim of this off before you put your seal on it. These bands and lids, I think the instructions nowadays says that you don't have to heat them up, but I was trained the old way. Back then you always heated your bands and lids. These tomatoes here, I think these are early girl, is the variety these are. We didn't grow them last year. I've grown them in the past, and they're a real good tomato. They'll come in a little early. Of course, that's their name, early girl. But they've got a lot of meat on them. Seems to have more meat than juice, but I mean, I guess you could cook them down and get more juice out of them. They're a pretty good tomato. Now, they're not an heirloom. They're a hybrid, I think is what they are. And I've seen some people, they'll heat up a separate pan of water over here, and that would be fine too, especially if he's in a house and not wanting to make a mess. But I just usually use this hot boiling water that I've got my jars in. Just always remember to do your debubbling, because usually when you do that, your water level will go down some and you have to add just a little more water because it gets the bubbles out of it. I've got a dipper around here somewhere. I need to look for it instead of pouring it like this. I'm making a mess. That's pretty good. For the things that we may have coming here in the country, anything you can learn about preserving food, I would highly recommend it. Like this. I'm doing this without looking at the book. I looked at the book a few days ago, so I do have a little bit of it in my mind. But who knows, there may come a time when we don't have the internet and books to look at. And if we can get this memorized how to do it, we'll be a lot better off. In my opinion, anyway. I just turned it off. I usually wait a few minutes before I open the lid up. I let it cool down probably 10 minutes before I take the lid off of it. I know they look a little funny. I didn't pack them in real tight. And whenever you cook them, it kind of compresses them and the juice pushes them up to the top. I think they'll be perfectly fine. And they may even flip whenever they seal and cool off. I'm not sure. I know some that we've had looks like this, and then sometimes they'll settle on bottom. But if you've never had fresh tomatoes in the cold winter time, they are real good. This is the only way I know to keep them on over into the winter. We'll use these in pasta, like make our own spaghetti sauce, and she'll use them in soup. And sometimes I just open them up and just eat them. But they're real good. Now they are a little work. The worst trouble is the getting the peels off of them. But you seen the way I done it there. I just dip them in hot water for a minute or so and then put them in cold water, and that loosens the skin up on them. You don't want to overcook them like that or they'll get real mushy. So I was taking them out pretty quick. Sometimes when you do that, you'll get some that's a little bit hard to peel. You can drop them back in there for a few seconds, take them back out, but most of the time I just take my knife and get the peeling on off of them. And even trying your best, you will still overcook some of them. Especially the way I was putting them in the pot. Once I got the skin off of them, I put them all in the pot. The ones down on the bottom, all that heat coming in on top of them, they still got mushy. But they'll be fine. They'll either be tomato juice in here or they'll just be mushy tomatoes. Either way, they work perfect in recipes that she uses through the winter. Maybe this will help somebody. I hope you're doing all you can to prepare for the things that could be coming. If nothing else happens, you'll have some good homemade food to eat that you raised yourself. These tomatoes has never had any spray on them. They've never had any chemicals on them. They're as fresh as they can be. The only thing might be on them is the stuff that they spray in the sky that falls down on the ground. That's the only thing that might be on them. If we had a greenhouse, we could stop that. But I thank you for watching. I pray God blesses you, and I'll see you in the next one.